right, so our guest has arrived in studio. Roger, how's it going?
Well, and yourself?
There we go, that's better. Good, good. Nice to see you again. You've coloured your hair.
Just probably haven't had it cut for a while.
Okay. You're blonder than last time we remember you.
There's a hint of copper in there.
Yeah, there is. You've been highlighting, haven't you?
No, but it takes one ginger to know another ginger.
I don't know so much. And you're looking very chilled and relaxed now. What is the downtime for you?
Yeah, we've got 3 weeks downtime now, so it's well earned and well taken.
Yeah, how 3 weeks, eh?
Yeah, until we start the new season.
All right, no training, no nothing. Because this oak yesterday was telling us, John Smith, yeah, like it's his real name, was telling us that rowers always train. Even on holidays, they always train. Christmas, they always train.
Yeah, look, they do train a lot. I always say to them they can't come back too heavy after these 3 weeks from a weight perspective, so I guess they are always training. But from 1st of October, it's flat out for the next 11 months.
11 months, eh? Heading towards next World Champs, and what else?
Yeah, heading towards next World Champs, and next one is the big one where we've got to qualify for the Olympics, and qualifying standards for rowing isn't easy. You've got to be top 11 at the World Championships, and we only have one chance. So
well, it's hardly like you're not going to be, considering you won the gold at this one.
Look,
it'll be a hell of a backward move if you suddenly finish out of the top 11.
Well, that's exactly the pressure, and why I'm probably going to lose hair next year. But I think, making sure we qualify is the first goal, because Rio is the big goal. But, it's an outdoor sport. Anything can happen. I only have very few rowers. We saw from the lightweight 4, I got a few injuries and had to make a new boat, and we've come lucky with this boat. Yeah. But anything can happen.
Now, just tell us in which areas we're going to qualify, or are going to want to qualify for the Olympic Games. Just cast our mind ahead. Because obviously we know the lightweight 4's won gold at the last Olympics. The double sculls, though, were they there at the last Olympics? Did they compete there? How many events did we compete in at those Olympics?
Yeah, so in London we qualified for 2 events: the lightweight men's 4 and the women's pair.
Oh, the women's pair. Okay.
Yeah. So I've dropped the lightweight 4 because I don't have enough rowers, and we've taken the 2 guys and put them in a lightweight double, which is almost like trying to crawl and then go and do backstroke. It's a totally different skill set.
Okay, see, that puts the gold medal in perspective then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we've had a rough year this year with James Thompson having out for 8 weeks of stress fracture. We don't know a lot about the boat. Even myself as a coach of the boat, the experience of mine is pretty limited. But funny things happen, we managed to pull it off. But I mean, for London, it's now that we've won the gold. If we hadn't probably got into the top 8, I would have considered going back to the 4, because I'm sort of hedging my bets a little bit. But now we know how to row it, obviously the way they proved it, and I'm sure we'll get stronger from here.
So you're not going to have a 4 at Rio?
I've got some other rowers back here, and obviously there's Sizwe in Glorville. I've got to see whether he gets a chance for the double. I mean, the double from next week will be open again. It's not for John and James by any means. Their seats aren't safe.
Okay, so it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be the boys doing the job next year or at the Olympics?
Not at all. There are a few other hungry guys left here who want to get into the boat, and the boat's open game.
All right. And the other guys that were in the 4s last year, was it Matthew?
Matthew Britton, so he's retired with his back injury.
He's done, eh?
He's out.
Okay.
He's hits the mountain biking circuit these days and does some good riding.
Oh, no, your back injury, he can't row, but he can mountain bike, which is more jarring.
No, mountain biking is pretty easy going.
Think of that movement when you're pulling that piece of wood back.
Have you ever taken a mountain bike over a rock?
No,
We're
but
trying to take a mountain bike over a speed bump. I'm trying to actually get used to mine at the moment. And the speed bumps in my complex, I try and go between them. There's those little knobbles, and I keep missing. So I hit this thing. Oh, my goodness. Well, so far it's my arse, not my back, but still.
Yeah.
Don't even comment.
Yeah, I was going to say, your ass has taken a pounding in the past.
Bit of chafing.
Just forget about it.
All I can say is that I can see the problem, though, because if you think of the movement when you row, it's that movement forward and then back. And that, which is why I was not a good rower.
Yeah, it looks like you're shagging right now. Yeah.
Getting pretty close to it, yeah.
But I would imagine that movement must put a lot of strain on your back.
Yeah, I mean, we get back injuries a lot. I mean, it's more about the rotation on the back. So that's where you can ride, but you can't row. It's too sore.
It's one of only 2 sports you can win going backwards. You know that?
What's the other one?
Toe track.
Toe track. That's true.
Yeah. All right, so I suppose that's a good thing, though. It keeps everyone on their toes and honest. It doesn't necessarily mean because you did it now that you're going to be in the boat next time around. So it keeps everyone on their toes.
Yeah, for sure. It's a philosophy in our team. I mean, we've got 4 top boats in the world now. and we've got backup people for all of them, and no one seat is ever safe. About 2 or 3 months, I'll do some final selections, and we look who's the best at that stage, and then we put them in the boat. And it's nice because people don't have to train every day, as John says, because if John doesn't come to training, then I'll put Sizwe in the boat.
And he could be the new guy.
Exactly. And the standard of all of them is pretty high. I think we can win with all of them. It's just who really puts the work in. And at the end of the day, like the guys proved, they wanted to win. James, I remember saying to John at the 1,000-meter mark, we're here to win. And they have another slogan nowadays, they refuse to lose. And you actually can believe it because these guys seem to squeak in and just get there each time.
Yeah. So how many events are you looking at for Rio? Is it just the doubles, or you might take a 4 lightweight fours, or what?
So I've got 4 main boats that I had now in Amsterdam, which all made the A final. So the lightweight men's double. Then I've got a lightweight women's double, which is a weight category of 57 kilos. So they small power little chicks. And they came 4th, and they just missed the bronze medal.
Okay.
So I really think they're the next best crew to look at. Then a men's pair.
We've got bronze there.
We got bronze where Ramon
Bridget,
Biclamenti.
Is Ramon still going?
No, Ramon is retired.
How does he get his Zimmer frame into the boat?
No, Ramon retired before London, but he's left a great legacy with Sean Keeling. He used to row with him, and now Sean Keeling's with another young guy, Vince Briett, and
Okay.
they won the bronze
So
together.
Ramon didn't win the bronze. I was going to say, I never
No.
saw his name anywhere.
But I think Bridget, you've seen
Bridget
some.
Hartley.
Bridget Hartley's canoeing. She goes forwards. We go backwards.
Oh, she's a canoeist. That's
She's
right.
a canoeist.
Please don't irritate. They get so... Canoeing, rowing, and kayaking. Do not mix them up.
No, but I
Whatever
thought
you
maybe,
do.
No, I thought maybe you were involved there as well.
No, I'm just looking after the going backward sport.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, just remember that.
Yeah.
Rowing is backwards, the other two are forwards.
Canoe,
Well, actually, no, kayaking, they go both ways, right?
Kayaking, they go forwards.
God, it's confusing.
No, but they get pissed off. Jeez, don't mix the three.
No, I'm sorry about that.
No, I can take it. I've had it a few times.
Where were we? Before you were rudely interrupted by a question about a completely different sport.
So the boats
Yes,
we
okay.
have.
Yeah, and you mentioned that's the third one. Which
So that's the
one?
third one. And then the women's pair, Leah and Nadine, they were us in London. They came 8th. And they've come up a bit. And, we've got to find some more rows to put pressure on them. But, once you've got boats in a final, you've got a 1 in 6 chance of a medal. And that's how we approach it.
Where are you harvesting these rowers from? All these sort of the schools that have got Saint in front of their names.
No, not at all. I mean, there's a good flux of not many of these rowers even rowed at school level.
Serious?
Yeah. And often the rowers, I find some of the guys who didn't do well at school level, actually the ones who do well now. So, I have very different views on school systems. I think we're pushing our kids far too much. But, I mean, that's another whole debate.
But
you
you must have gone to Hilton.
No, not Hilton.
St Andrews.
St Andrews.
Don't let Hilton ever enter a rowing team because I promise they lose. They won't want to row in that event next year. We're not rowing next year. You guys are too good. We'll come back when you're weaker.
Do you feel the kids are being pushed too hard?
Yeah, they are. I mean, I'm not finding we've got probably 1 to 2% of kids continuing rowing after school. So I sort of, watch school rowing interestingly, but I want to see who's going to rock up on my doorstep on the 1st of January when I take my first intake. And I don't really do much persuasion or talent ID. I offer it to anyone, and anyone's allowed to arrive. I take actually anybody. And then we see what we can do with them and who can handle the pace.
Don't even think about it, Johnny. Don't even think about it. Well, that's cool. I mean, that's a very simple but very effective system to have, which you would expect would be the one that they would have in most sports in this country, but it doesn't work that way, I suppose. Yeah, pick the best guys for the job in that position at the time.
No, exactly. I mean, I've had conversation with parents, and they're asking me how much money I can offer them and whether they should go to Harvard or America. And the only thing I can offer is watching your flag being risen on the podium, and that's literally it. With a sport with not a lot of funding, but we can offer national pride and going out and being the best in the world.
How is that side of things? We did touch on it briefly with John, but is that side looking a bit better? Because as I was saying yesterday, again, you don't hear about it, don't see anything, nothing. I was saying that there's got to be surely one channel that, even if it's not a rowing show, can have a show that focuses on rowing, bowls, the sports that actually make us proud at the Commonwealth and Olympic Games, but get absolutely no airtime anywhere else. It's a disgrace.
Yeah, look, last year was a real tough year for me, especially after the Olympics, thinking that things would change, and nothing changed.
Not one thing.
Nothing. I had the worst year of 2014, just from the funding. We had no funding, trying to get to Worlds, and I knew if I didn't make the guys train really hard in 2014, it was going to have effects this year.
But how do you get there then, if you're getting no funding? John said Sascock are
So
contributing.
Sascock, it's definitely our main funder.
Okay.
I mean, they are supporting us. They paid for us to go to Worlds now. And my job is to make sure I come with the medals, and they provide the funds for us. And that's our only route at the moment. We've also got an old boys trust that's put some money together with Paolo Cavalieri, and who looks after our international rowing. And then we base it at the High Performance Centre in Pretoria. You know, we try to make the model really simple. We don't have any gadgets, any really big payments to athletes. It's really simple Simon stuff.
Yeah.
And that's how we get by.
It's like a hockey team. He's like probably the, we won gold anyway, but you're probably sort of semi-amateur versus London. You know, it's countries like London, Australia, they throw money at these, at someone's got a hope of a medal.
Yeah, I mean,
they want you to bring the medal first, and then we'll give you some more money for next time.
Yeah, I mean, at the World Champs, it's so scary. You rock up, and all the big teams, as you say, Australia, Canada, they rock up like Formula One teams. And we sort of rock up there, our boats sort of get delivered.
Pitch your tent.
Well, you know, we don't even have a tent, and it pissed with rain for the whole 2
Are you
weeks.
like Jamaica in that Cool Runnings?
Yeah,
We
we
got
can
a
deal with the
bobsled.
cold a bit better, but we just do it simply. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not fancy stuff by any means. And you know, the rest of the world couldn't believe on our first day of heats, we started clubbing them all. We won every heat we were in just to get through the next round, and they're wondering how does we do it in South Africa? What's
Don't
going
you
on?
get offers from overseas to base yourselves there, and that people, you know, I mean, is there a business model where, you know, I mean, and listen, with all due respect, if I know SASCOC are supporting you, but you're not getting the kind of support you should be getting. If there's some business person that sees value in the fact that you guys might be winning medals regularly, sure, you can still compete for South Africa, but is there no business model where someone overseas might say, come and base yourselves here?
Yeah, I'd like to think there was, and I think we'd definitely consider it. I think also we're not big fans of training outside South Africa. You know, we find Lesotho, we go up to Zanin, and you know, I mean,
I wouldn't go training
don't go there
Lesotho
now.
now.
well, I've been worried about that because
Yeah.
Lesotho is one of our key
Otherwise
places.
you need 4 new boats.
But I mean, Europe's not a great country to train in. We don't like the rain. We like the sunshine. I mean, there's no better place than South Africa. So, you know, if it was a funding element, I'd probably go. But what better place to do it in? It's always sunny.
Yeah.
Athletes are happy. Otherwise, you've got to train in the mud and the rain every day, and it's gloomy.
You can go back to Harties now. Hey, that water. I took a little cycle down. No, I'm not joking. Stood on the side yesterday having a twack halfway through my cycle.
What an athlete.
That water is crystal clear.
That is so
It
nice.
is
What did they put
awesome.
in it?
I don't know.
It looks
I've
like a
never-
whole lot of HTH.
It's crystal clear. It was fantastic. I could actually see 5-headed fish
I was
down
about to
there.
say, those 4-headed fish that you see.
Yeah.
You can see them swimming. They're fantastic.
Beautiful.
I saw a couple
wonder
of
if Galen
floaters in
Darber's
there.
got anything to do with that. I wonder.
They probably put floaters in there.
That's awesome. I mean, how much do you guys need?
Look, I've done it with.
No, minimum now, because you came up with like 25 million last time we spoke to you or something like that for a year.
Oh, man, you're on tuck.
Yeah. Well, when you look at what the other teams put in, but I mean, we can, you know, we're probably doing it around 5 a year. You know, I'm saying,
Yeah, I think that's what you mentioned.
you know, to try and pay for it all, especially going for 4 Olympic boats. You know, I'm not trying to say we're going to get 1 Olympic medal. I'm going to try and get 4 Olympic medals. I'm not going to say colours, but, you know, it
Yeah.
costs to do that.
I'm amazed that no one stepped forward after. That's crazy, yeah. What is
Yeah.
that show you said they should call it? Yesterday you said they should do a show called what?
I can't remember, Darren. A show.
TV show.
Oh, a TV show. I can't remember what I said. I really can't.
I think it's disgraceful.
no.
They've got to give you guys some kind of
TV
exposure.
show.
mileage.
So wait, this is your full-time job as a coach. Are your rowers, is this their full-time work as well?
Yeah, most of them. Well, I've got a really young team, and they're competing against much older people. But I encourage them to try and study as long as possible, because then that helps them, you know, with their parents or bursaries and that sort of stuff. Sean Keelan's one of the older athletes, James Thompson, and we sort of get funding. I mean, they're on the OPIX program, which helps a lot there. And then, you know, I often go to Odd Business trying to pick them up. James Thompson works for Tuft, which is a company in Joburg on re-education of businesses, and he gets a stipend and does a bit of work for them on the marketing side. But it's just trying to locate the guys where I can get them 10 or 12,000 rand a month just to help with living expenses. But you know, they're not doing it for the money because there is no money. So when they're on the line and they got a race, they're putting everything into it because they want to still get that 10,000 rand when they get home and they want to win. So it's just picking up grabs. here and
Julia's
there.
10 grand and give it to them rather.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting medals and stuff.
Yeah, Julia, I didn't even know Julia's swimming. Where is he? I heard from Julia. Julia, where are you?
No, we sponsor a swimmer named Julia Zorzi. Look, I'm happy to keep giving him the 10K a month, but then we put him in a boat and he rows for you.
And we throw him in the deep end.
Well, tell him to arrive on the 1st of October and we'll set him in
He's
the
a strapping young lad.
Oh, yeah, no,
Tall?
He's a proper
And-
swimmer. You can see he's built like.
And he'll pull hard for you.
No. He is. He's working towards world champs again. So we're in for the rest of the year, but we'll see after that.
But he'll pull hard for you, man.
No break's not listening. Jeez. All right. Well, listen, Roger. It's good to see you again, bud. And listen, keep us updated on what you guys are doing and how it's progressing.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks very much.
Because it seems like we can notch that one down to a really good medal chance again. For World Champs next year, and of course Rio coming up in 2 years' time. So thanks a lot for popping through. Nice
So
to see you again.
Just before we let you go, basically, if rowing started to get more coverage in South Africa as a sport, it would be easier to find a sponsor.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, last year I spent a lot of time going to companies, and eventually I got tired of it because I spent a lot of time now trying to get money, and no one really came forward, and it was really frustrating. And
What do they want out of it, though? I mean, what do they get back for it if they do put the money in?
Well, I suppose they're getting exposure of being on the world stage of winning. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I think a lot of
But I
people.
mean, World Champs, you're allowed to wear their logos.
Yeah, for sure.
Olympics, you can't, though.
Olympics you can't, and but the World Championships you can, and you can wear anything you want. And they're also getting the ambassadors of James and John. But all of them want the development plan of how we're getting the young kids coming through. And my philosophy is more about pulling the top of the triangle because we don't have the funds to build the base.
Yeah.
So I'd rather pull the top up because my job is to win.
Yeah.
So it's a tough one. But if you want a winning team, I think we've sort of now come to the stage where a lot of people did say that Olympic gold could have been luck or whatever. But now at least we put that to bed.
Yeah. Well, good luck and well done so far on what you guys have achieved. It's awesome. Really is good.
Take a guess how old Roger is.
So Roger's like, I know Roger from way back. Roger was an old Rhapsodies visitor, weren't you?
No.
Back in the day, didn't you?
Were
used to
you?
go to
It could have been
Rhapsody?
my brother,
Who's your brother?
Paul.
It's Paul. That's it.
Or Barrow.
We look
Paul.
similar.
Yeah, you do look similar.
Take a guess how old Roger is.
Probably 19. How old is he?
Add 20 onto that.
39.
Look at
39.
The Paul's your younger or older brother?
Well, older
He's
if he was
older now.
Rhapsodies, eh?
Yeah, he would be. Yeah.
That's what rowing does to you. I'm going backwards.
Yeah. I'll say that. All right,
Turn
Roger.
a piss
Thank
off.
you, Roger.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for
No,
popping in,
beautiful.
bud, and good luck. And stay in touch. Keep us posted on what's going on, okay?
Will do.
We'll stay in touch with you guys as well.
Great.
There we go. That's the state of rowing. Good things happening with our rowers, doing us proud. How many medals have we picked up in games now and world champs so far?
Well, that was our first World Championship gold medal. Ramon and Don used to pick up quite a few silvers and bronze.
Yeah.
But we've picked up two now, one in London, a gold, and Ramon and Don picked up a bronze back in 2004.
So it must be close to 10 medals we've picked up in various
Yeah, for sure.
major champions. That's brilliant.
That's a cool name for a team, eh? Ramon and Don. Sounds like a name of an aftershave or something.
I promise you, saw those two together. It was like that.
Aftershave on fire.
Aftershave on fire.
Some of my Ramon and Don. You smell delicious.
Donovan Check and Ramon Di Clemente.
Ramon and Don.
They're pretty cool.
Visual Radio.
Weekdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central African Time.
Radio like you've never seen it before.
Balls.co.za